I thought it was a tremendous opportunity for my fighter, Chad Dawson. I thought it was a tremendous opportunity for Andre Ward. The winner of this fight will no doubt be a superstar. It is that big of a fight.
Well, welcome back to Chronicle Live. That was Gary Shaw, Chad Dawson's promoter, at the press conference today at Oracle Arena for the Made in America bout featuring Andre Ward and Chad Dawson, September 8th on HBO. And we're happy to welcome into studios the son of God, Andre Ward, who also moonlights as a Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area intern. Thanks for coming back in your regular apparel as a boxer.
Feels good to be back.
Good to be here with your trainer, Virgil Hunter, who was the 2011 Trainer of the Year, according to the Boxing Writers Association of America. And, of course, your promoter, Dan Goossen, joining us as well. And I got a lot to get to with you, Dan, because the press conference, it turned a lot towards you. But got to start, of course, with you, Andre. This is a huge fight. I mean, Chad Dawson coming down to 168 pounds, coming to Oakland to fight you. Pound for pound, you're two of the best fighters in your sport. How big a deal is this in your mind?
Well, it's huge. You know, this is the biggest American fighter that I've faced. You know, I've come off the Super Six the last 2 years and primarily European fighters. Those are the biggest names that I've fought to date. This guy's the real deal. He's paid his dues in the sport. He's beat some great fighters, guys that are going in the Hall of Fame. And he's a tall order, literally and figuratively. So over the next 8 weeks, you know, me and Virg, we need to come up with a plan that's going to chop this tree down because, you know, Chad's the real deal, but I'm up for the challenge.
Yeah, and Virgil, let's talk about that because Carl Froch, also a guy with a long reach, but you were able to defeat that by having Andre go inside. Is that going to be the game plan here?
Well, not necessarily, but it could be to a point. You know, reach doesn't mean that much in boxing unless you really know how to use it. It's position and distance is the most crucial thing, and so whoever controls the distance will control the reach.
Well, I got to talk to you, Dan, about the end of the press conference today. It got a little bit heated, and it was basically you and Gary going after each other a little bit.
He's an easy target, Dave. Okay. Yeah, you know, it's going to happen like that when he's got someone like Chad Dawson. He's beat Antonio Tarver. He's beaten Bernard Hopkins, Glenn Johnson. A lot of big names on his resume. And he's going up against Andre in Oakland, where he knows he's going to be facing 19,000 screaming Ward fans, Oakland fans, Bay Area fans. So he wanted to take a few swipes at Andre and the rest of the team. You know, I'm here to do my job as Andre's promoter, but I think Andre actually took control of it by standing up and saying, hey, I'm going face-to-face with the fighter. Forget the promoters. Well,
you know, we do have to clear the air here a little bit, though, because, Andre, you said at the press conference today that you never asked Chad to come down to 168 pounds. Now there was a retort from Chad's side saying that you were the one that asked for Chad to come down to 168 pounds. Did you ask for Chad Dawson to come down to 168?
No. You know, as Andre said at the press conference, Dawson's the one that said he wanted to come down to 168. So why would I ask him to stay at 175 if he already said he was willing to come down to 168? It was only using common sense. He said he was willing to come to Oakland. So it took us 8 days to put this deal together. And that's the way they should be made, where either you're going to, you know, do what you say you're going to do, and let's get this deal made, and let's go from there.
Andre, let's talk about those two facts. Him coming down to 168 and him coming into your backyard in Oakland. I mean, clearly that's a decisive advantage for you on both fronts.
It could be. I mean, Chad Dawson, if he's as confident as he is, you know, and coming down in weight, you know, who knows? He may be stronger. He may be more fit. I'm not sure. I mean, we'll know September 8th. As far as fighting at home, you know, I have to take my hat off to Chad. I mean, it's a big challenge for him to come in someone else's backyard. But, you know, as I mentioned in the press conference, every fighter goes to another fighter's hometown for a price. And I'm sure that price was, you know, a hefty price, whatever that price was. But that being said, he's still coming, and we appreciate that. And I'm going to make the most of it. We fought in Oracle, you know, 4 times. This is the 5th time, and I want to go out there and put on a show.
All right, we have to bring up the fact that this fight is on HBO, and you made mention in the press conference that that's a big deal because a lot of people look at it. You need to be on HBO to be considered amongst the best of the best. And along with that, there's going to be 24/7 leading up to the fight. You know, obviously that's going to be a little bit of a change for you, having those cameras around all the time in your face.
Yeah, it's, you know, I've dealt with that before, and again, just coming off the Super Six. You know, the Showtime crew, they're intense, and they're the real deal. You know, they want certain footage, and they'll push you until they get it. You know, that's their job. So I know a little bit about the cameras being in my face. But don't get me wrong, HBO 24/7, that's a huge deal.
Virgil, you ready to become a national superstar now on national TV?
Well, that's not my intent, but I will go about my job the way I always go about it and let it fall where it may fall.
Well, gentlemen, it is going to be a fantastic fight, and we look forward to having you guys back here again following the fight to talk about it and talk about what is next. Andre, we'll see you back here at work. I think you're probably due tomorrow at some time, working, go getting some coffee or
something like that. Thank you.
And that is the most crazy dynamic ever, by the way, but we love Andre having him around. Gentlemen, thanks for coming by. And
thanks, Dave. We're looking to get the Oakland and Bay Area fans out there. Got tickets priced from $25. What, you didn't think I was going to mention prices or anything? I'm a promoter, okay? And with Shaw being such a hefty challenger for me, I have to make sure that I let him know he's coming to our territory, and we're not going to take that stuff. But $25 to $300 tops. Got all price ranges available. Tickets have been going great right now. Want to get a packed house out there.
I have no doubt it's going to be a packed house on September 8th. Gentlemen, thank you all for coming by.
Thank you.
Thank you.